Hello students, today we are going to learn a new lesson from Unit 2, that is from 2.2 Nature created man and women as equals. Before to do the actual lesson, we are going to see the warming up activity. A. Study the pictures below and note down the differences. See here few pictures are given. Let's see what is given in these pictures. We will give numbering to these pictures. Number 1. In this first picture we can see the boy is going to school, whereas the girl of the same age is doing household work, carrying pot on her head and going to fill the water. In the second picture here we can see both the girl and boy are going to school together. In the next picture here we can see that the woman is carrying pots on her head and there is a baby in her hip. Next picture here we can see the teacher is teaching to the students, to the children. In children I want to focus that there is a girl and boy, both are studying together. In the next activity here we can see that now write what you observe in the following two pictures. Let's see this picture, give the number 5. Okay, in the fifth picture we can see man and the boy, both are doing household work. They are helping to the woman and to the girl. Yes, it means what? They are allowed both of them to do their other work and they are helping them. In the next picture here we can see both men and women are all sitting together on one table and discussing some office work. Let's give the number to this picture 6. You are going to write the differences about these pictures in these columns. First picture, second picture, third and fourth. Alright. Now, the next is which pictures reflect gender equality? Write their numbers. Now, what is the meaning of gender equality? Gender equality means there is equality between men and women. No one is superior, no one is inferior. There is no discrimination in between the men and the woman. Okay. Then let's find out which picture reflect gender equality. Is this picture? No, of course not. This picture tells us that both of them are equal. This not. This also tells us that both of them are enjoying equal rights of learning. This picture also reflects gender equality as all of them are working together. Yes, here also we can see the gender equality. So, in short, picture number 2, 4, 5 and 6 reflect gender equality. Our next activity is write down any two slogans in gender equality. Now, I will tell you the two slogans. You are also going to write 2 more slogans on it later on. So, the first is, if sons are diamond, then the girls are pearls. Yes, means what? Both of them are equally valuable to us. Next is, boy and girl acts as 2 eyes of a person, which is equally important. Again, this tells us how both the eyes are important to us. Same way, man and woman also important in the society. Okay, now let's begin our actual lesson. Nature created man and woman as equals. Listen students, this is really a very nice lesson. This is to give a thought on nature created man and women as equals, because whether it is a village or a city, in many places we can observe inequality on the basis of the gender. Though it is more in the rural areas and lesser in urban areas, but what we are trying to learn in this lesson is that nature has created both men and women equal. It is the society where we live. In this kind of discrimination, and there are few groups of people who do this type of discrimination. So this lesson teaches us that we should not follow any such kind of discrimination. In fact, we should work towards making the society working on gender equality. Okay, let's get started then. The house and its surroundings are a sight of peace in the early morning of April. It nestles by the side of a small stream of crystal clear water. The stream tumbles down the green mountains only 2 miles or so away. There is a stretch of hundreds of acres of fertile land rolling with the yellow mustard flowers between the mountain range and the house. A garden is in front of the house. Trees of many kinds bearing flowers of various hues and fruits grow on all sides of the house. Now, very beautiful description of the house and the surrounding is given in this first paragraph. This description tells us about the house, where the house is situated in a beautiful and scenic surroundings. Here we can see the house and its surrounding. This particular place tells us about the early morning of the month of April. It nestles. Nestles means what here? Very close to. Means the house is very close to the side of a small stream of crystal clear water. Crystal clear water means what? Very clear and transparent water like a crystals. Have you seen the crystals? Yes, very transparent and very clear. Same way that particular stream was flowing through the mountains which is passing by the house. And you can see that there are acres of lands where yellow mustard flowers were growing between the mountain ranges and the houses. There is a garden in front of the house, and there are various kinds of trees which were bearing various types of fruits and various hues means what? Colors of flowers growing on all sides of the house. Would you like to live in such type of house? Of course, because this is a really very, a very pleasant and a peaceful surrounding where everybody would love to live in that house. Next paragraph. The courtyard smells of jasmine which blooms in bunches of white pearls. The fragrance mingles with the thin smoke that rises from sweet-smelling incense sticks. The burning incense sticks are glowing at the altar of God in the middle of the courtyard. Courtyard means what? The open space of the house. That particular open space of the house was fully filled with the smells of the jasmine which were blooming on the bunches of the trees and which would look like white pearls. The fragrance means what? The pleasant and the sweet smell of these flowers mingles, meaning mixed with the thin smoke that rises from the sweet smelling incense sticks. Incense sticks means what are the the small thin sticks, small or long thin sticks which we usually use to worship the God. In short, in Hindi you people call it agarbattis. The burning incense sticks are glowing at the altar of God in the middle of the courtyard. So here you can see again the particular description of the environment is given, that the altar means what? There is a place or a table where we keep the statues and the gods and where we serve all the fruits, flowers to the God. So that particular altar of the God is placed in the middle of the courtyard. Clear with this? Okay, now this chapter tells us or introduced us with the 3 characters. Let's see which is our first character. Here we are introduced with the first character, Ashangbi. Ashangbi is in her reading room and is busy writing an article. She is middle-aged mother of 3 children and a journalist and women's rights activist. Lanthoi, her youngest daughter, enters the room. She is an intelligent girl. Today she looks thoughtful and she takes a seat by her mother's side. At the sight of her child, Ashangbi lovingly asks, "Have you finished your study, my dear?" "Yes, mother. I finished it last night. Today, being Sunday, I want to do something interesting," Lanthoi says and waits for her mother's response. "Tell me what you want to do," Ashangbi asks her, quite amused. "Mother, tomorrow I am going to represent the Siroi Lily House as a speaker in a symposium at our school. The topic is God created men and women as equals. Will you spare some time to have a discussion with me?" Lanthoi presses on her mother. See what is given in this paragraph. Here we are introduced with the Ashangbi, who is the mother of the Lanthoi, and Lanthoi is the youngest daughter of her. Now Ashangbi is busy in her living room. She is the middle-aged woman and she is a successful woman too. She is not only a mother of 3 children, but she is also a journalist and she is women's rights activist. You know, women's rights activist means what? Where she fights with the rights of the women. We see that she is very accomplished woman, and we see her daughter Lanthoi is also an intelligent girl, and she has been given a chance to be a part of the discussion of a symposium. Symposium means what here? A meeting or a conference at which experts have discussion on a particular subject or a topic. So here she has been given the chance to be a part of that discussion, and she has been given a chance to speak on what was her topic? God created men and women as equals. And knowing that her mother works for the benefits of women, so she thought that she could have a discussion with her mother as well. So Lanthoi is really trust. She believes in her mother's opinion and she wants her mother's advice. What are her opinions? What are her views based on this topic? Okay, so Lanthoi presses on her mother. Presses on her mother means what? She was trying to persuade someone to do something for her. Okay, now next paragraph. Lanthoi had just had a discussion with her father on the topic. Tomba, her father, is a husband supportive of the activities of his wife and a loving father. He is a lawyer and a social worker who advocates. Advocate means what? Supports. Who advocates the cause of women. He is always proud of his wife, the 2 daughters and the son. In times of need, he extends his helping hand to his wife and children and to the society at large. He does not discriminate between a man's work and woman's work anywhere. So, in this paragraph, we are introduced with our third character, Tomba, who is the kind father of Lanthoi. You know, Lanthoi, of course, is being an intelligent girl, and she is constantly thinking about the topic, what she should say, and what are the various things they should discuss on this. And then she even had a little discussion with her father. So as I told you that we are introduced with the third character, Tomba, and we get to know that what kind of character he is. He is very supportive husband because he supports, I have told you, advocates means what? He supports his wife with all her activities, and not only that, but also he feels proud to his wife's achievement, his 2 daughters and as well as his son. And we also know something more about her father, and he is helping everyone at home. Okay, and he believes that there is no need to discriminate between the men and the women because all are equal. Okay, next. He shares, turn the page. He shares equally with his wife in doing the household chores like cleaning, washing, cooking and feeding the children. Had he not shared in these activities in the way he does, his wife would not have been a successful professional. He wholeheartedly believes in equality irrespective of class, religion and gender. In his discussion with his daughter, he laments over the great injustice done on the women in the society, telling her, "My dear child, the world is still full of inequalities. We have to find a way to bring equality between men and women." So here we can see that the husband is very supportive and helping in the household work like cleaning, washing, cooking and feeding the children as well, and he does not discriminate in between the men and the women. He believes all of them are equal, and he also is a lawyer and a social worker. So he knows what is the condition of the women in society. And when his daughter Lenthoi brings up the topic, he talks to her and says that it is really sad to lament. Okay, lament means what? Very sad. So it is very sad to feel that the injustice that is done with the women in the society. And he says the world is full of inequalities. We have to find the way to bring equality between men and women. Although we say that men and women are equal, but in reality, when we see in society, it is not so. Women are always considered a secondary and lowest status given to them as compared to men. And here in her house, Lenthoi sees how her mother and father are always like equals in the house. They don't show discrimination in between one and the other. It is also said that the husband is so supportive to his wife that he allows her to do her work properly. And if he did not, then she wouldn't be so successful. Here she tells that only her husband is the whole and sole reason that she is a successful professionalist. This shows that father is so good and he believes in equality. Okay, now next. Her father's words are still ringing in the ears of Lenthoi, and she tells her mother of what her mother has told her. So here, whatever her father told her, those words were still ringing. Ringing means what? She was still thinking about the words and the words of her father, and she tells that particular words and the opinions and the views of father to her mother. Appreciative of her husband for his views, Ashangbi says, "Your father is right. In no society do women enjoy the same opportunities enjoyed by men. It is because of your father that I feel no difference or inequality at home. But outside our home, I have seen that women have been subjugated in many ways." Subjugated means what here? Controlled and dominated over. It is against the will of God. God had sent men and women to our earth to share the joys and sorrows of life equally, to share His blessings and to enjoy the bounty of nature equally. This is what your topic means. So here I have told you that having the conversation with her mother, and when tells her mother a discussion that she and her father had, the mother was very happy. She is very appreciate to be happy what her father has said, because father has said the truth, saying that outside the house women do have lots of problems, but within their home she says her that father has never treated her differently. They have always been the equals in the family. And she also says that the God has made man and women equal in the status. No one is bigger, stronger and higher than the other. They are all equal, and we are all put on the earth to enjoy His blessings and also to enjoy the bounty of nature. Bounty of nature means what here? The beauty of nature. So it is not meant only men will get to enjoy and women have to suffer. Each one is made equal in the eyes of the God and nature. And this way, the mother tells her what your topic means. The God has created men and women equals. Yes, I hope, students, that you all have understood so far. Now, let's take down the meanings of this part. See here. Meaning, first, naissance lies close to. Second is rolling. Rolling means what? Extending gently. Third is fragrance, a pleasant and sweet smell. Next is incense sticks. Incense sticks means thin sticks that are burnt to release a fragrant smoke. Next, symposium, a conference or a meeting to discuss a particular matter. Presses on, persuades gently and steadily. Advocates, supports. discriminate, make an unjust or unfair distinction. Laments, expresses grief or sorrow about something. Subjugated, defeated or controlled. So these are the meaning of this part. Rest all the meanings and the remaining lesson we are going to learn in the next part. Okay students, thank you. Bye bye. Take care.